All right, the next thing we talk about is on the floor when we're there, um, how how we react to the students. So we need to make sure that in a typical normal floor, unless it's a one-on-one session, we divvy up our time equally across everybody, and we need to do everything that we can do. And then 3 to 5 minutes, everybody should be able to have an attention, and it becomes escalating fact when they raise their hand and they're totally stuck in something. And sometimes they would be raising their hand for no reason, which we need to understand and address it appropriately. Okay, you only raise hands when this happens, right? We have to train them, but we need to make sure until they follow the right level. Typically less hands goes up if we are properly visiting, and then we're constantly scanning to make sure if there's the hands up or not, right? So the frequency, as I mentioned, 3 to 5 minutes. Everybody should be able to see that either they're being acknowledged or they're being addressed. And as we're teaching, we could always make our shoulder to see if somebody if needs extra help. Sometimes we'll be doing a correction. A correction is important, but if somebody is raising a hand, correction becomes less important. We should acknowledge and okay, I'll be right with you, and then we can stop the correction and help somebody and come back and do the correction. Correction means that somebody already understands something, and then we're moving on. Acknowledging and independence is the key part. Part of our job is to make them more and more and better mathlet every day. So that means they should be self-learning things. So if you look at our Mathnasium journey, this is our journey card. So initially when they come, they're really sad. There's the sad phase inside. And then within 3 months, we build a partnership with the parent and teacher with them. So which means by 6th month, we should be seeing that the child is becoming more and more confident in math. Once that happens, within a year, we want to see that this child is independently learning new math concepts. They're able to fly through things before we can even start telling them. And in a year or two, we see them up to 1 to 2 years ahead from the grade level. So that's kind of our journey towards advancement. And we want to make sure we're trying to promote that. And one way we promote it, instead of telling them what to do, we ask them what should happen next. So that's Socratic questioning, we call it. Whenever it's needed to solve a problem, that's one thing. Direct teaching during algebra and things like that, we would do that. But if we already know, this child already knows, instead of showing them how to do it again, we would ask them, okay, what happened last time? Or we'd say, okay, if you did this and this, what happened? So that they get a clue instead of actually we are solving it for them. That's why it's supposed to be 3 to 5 minute visit, because instead of solving it, we are giving them clues. Most of the time it's 1 to 2 minute visits, because we're giving them, asking them the right question and observing for a minute if they're able to continue. Once we see that they're able to continue after our right clue, then we move on. Then we take a note that they're confused about this part, and I gave them this clue, and that's our notes in the session log, right? So that's how we create independent student learners. Like in a gym, most of the time people are independent, and if they're in group class, they're then learning and they're going and trying it on their own. So that's that. Any question on how they receive their, okay. All right, when you are on the floor, we are looking for tone of voice. We are typically library voice centered. So this is the library voice. Within a fit, you can hear it, but after the fit, it should be fading out as a white noise, right? In the library, the way we talk. Body language should be as positive as possible. So we're here not being grumpy, or we're not a sad face, because you're a leader at the time when you're in the floor, and your resonance of the energy, whatever your positive or negative, actually affects your students that you're leading. You're leading 8 students, and you're leading a team member also side by side, because you're working as a peer. So your personal well-being would affect anybody around you. So please be cognizant about it. Verbal language, we definitely want to use professional languages, and Mathnasium has actually published a Mathnasium dictionary. So how far apart, the denominator, these are a sample of Mathnasium languages. There's a whole dictionary on this, and the more we work, the more we'll realize what's a nomenclature to the students, what's not. Make sure that you review the dictionary as you're going through training. You'll see those things. And it doesn't matter how much the students fail. Oh, we celebrate failure. and what did we learn from this,
Mhm.
so that we don't practice the next one. We call it growth mindset. We promote it as much as possible. Celebrate failures and keep trying until we get there, right? So we wanna be exciting place. Give me a sec.